Welcome back to my channel. Again, my name is Amy and I'm your local gym sis. I share healthy recipes as well as full workouts. Today we are making bulgogi beef and vegetables. It's perfect for any meal prep, any meal to go. It's also super simple to make, super healthy. So let's get started. Let me go through the ingredients we'll need. So I like to use ground beef. You can also use different types of beef, but this is the 92.8 lean ground beef. And sometimes I will use the 95.5. There's like a 98.2, which is crazy, but this one's an affordable option from Ralph's. So I have 2 pounds of that. Some bell peppers. I wonder if I can still juggle. Wonder if I'll regret this. No, we're not gonna do that. No, wait, hold on. Yeah, we're not gonna do that. I've opted to add some zucchini and some green onions and brown sugar, a little bit of honey. This one's optional. Red pepper flakes, sesame seeds as a topper, also optional. Sesame oil, also optional. Black pepper. And then we also have some ginger and garlic. I would say these are not so much optional, but totally up to you. I think they're very important for flavor and taste. All right, using my favorite knife from our place, we are going to start by prepping the veggies. I always like to keep a little trash bowl in front of me in case I want to toss anything. And then I will just keep my bell peppers here. Now, you can slice your bell peppers multiple ways. Like I switch it up every time, but currently my favorite one is just to go around the sides of the bell peppers and just kind of go around the top and just leave the bottom or that top piece. And then we'll toss that in the extra side. And then you can either dice them or you can slice them into thin pieces. I will slice them into thin pieces for this one. So we're just gonna slice her. And then I'll set them aside into an extra plate while we're here. Same thing. I didn't buy this for nothing. This is amazing. All I'm saying is like, it's $6 and it scoops everything for you. You don't need to scoop with your knife. You don't need to pick it up with your hands. All right, and we're going in. So again, we're just gonna go around the side and we are going to slice her just around that top piece so we don't get that center part and we avoid all of the seeds as well. I like them kind of shorter. Now I know chefs who can like look away and keep chopping. I'm not one of those. So don't expect nothing fancy. They always say the more colors you have in your food, the healthier, because of all of the phytonutrients that add color to food. So I try to make sure my meals are colorful, whether that's adding more vegetables, avocado, different things that add healthy fats and just healthy fiber and nutrients. All right, next one. Up next, we are chopping up our zucchinis. And for these, you can also do thin slices, slice her down the middle, or you can do like chopped pieces that are square, but I'm just gonna do them nice and slim. So you can see they're nice and finely sliced, just like this. You can cut them any way you want. Truly, there's no specific way to cook. Just don't burn your food. But I've always been the type of person who makes meals kind of quickly because I'm always in a rush. I was working in corporate. I didn't really have time to make very fancy meals until more recently, but I'm showing you guys all the quick and healthy meals that I would make in the past when I was running around. Scoop up our green zucchini, pop it in our little container. You can get these containers on Amazon. I will put the link in the description below. You can also get this little scooper on Amazon. I will also put the link in the description. Now we're gonna go into our garlic and you're just gonna want to finely mince. I just like to like cut them up a little bit first and then just go into it. But I buy pre-peeled garlic from Trader Joe's. If you want it more fresh, you're gonna peel it yourself. I am too lazy to do that, so we buy pre-peeled, so I eat garlic at all. right. And then we will take our ginger, and you can put as much ginger as you'd like. I'll probably use about an inch worth of ginger. I know people measure it by teaspoon, I don't. And we will just use a spoon, and I'm just going to scrape off the skin. Finely chop the ginger into thin strips. This piece, I don't need that much. Get rid of any extra skin. Just chop it in half and turn them into little thin strips. Now, if you don't like ginger and you don't want it mixed in where you can taste it, you can leave them as bigger chunks. They don't have to be super thin pieces, but if you don't mind eating them, then you can make them tinier pieces so that you can actually include them in the meal at the end. Some people like to just cook with it and then take it out. Totally up to you, totally up to preference. All right, cool. Ginger, garlic done. So everything that we needed to prep is now prepped, and now it's just cooking. They say it's 80% prep, 20% cooking. It's like basketball. It's like 80% of what you practice and then 20% game. So that's all I'm saying. We're gonna try the wok. I'm not gonna lie, I've cooked with the wok and sometimes it just sticks a little, but we're gonna try the trick that I learned recently of getting the wok hot enough before chefing it up, and hopefully that should work. So we are going to move over here. All right, we're just gonna light her up to about medium high and let her heat up. So we've got our ground beef. Now that she's hot enough, and you can see it's hot enough because when we put water in, the water bounces and they kind of just create little water balls. So also, small note, I did prep rice prior to this, so if you want rice by the time you are eating, you should prep that in advance. We're just gonna oil her up, and we're gonna make sure we have enough oil. I've also under-oiled my pans, and that is also why it's been a problem. And you can see when it starts to smoke, that's when it's hot enough. Toss in our ground beef. Wow, without the plastic. Be careful for splashing. I'm gonna put in both of them right now. Get her in there. And then I also like to let it cook, but I like to break it up a little bit while it is cooking. And we're gonna cook and let it brown. I love this little thing. Look at this. Look how fancy this is. Now we are just going to mix up our ground beef, and we want to cook our ground beef until it has browned. Again, I like to just break her up, but you just want to use a large skillet and make sure your ground beef is nice and brown. I forgot the soy sauce. You need a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. Don't forget the soy sauce. I use reduced sodium. Now that the meat has started to brown, we are going to add in our soy sauce. Our brown sugar. Give her a little stir. Gonna add in our honey. Just a little bit. You can skip the honey if you want since you're using brown sugar. That's totally fine. All right, our pepper flakes. And it's really, when I say stir fry, it means you can literally throw everything into a pan. So if you don't have certain vegetables, just find what you have. Toss her in. Bell peppers. We're not gonna use all of them, like I said. But we'll use a good amount. Actually, we'll use all of them. We love vegetables. Give her a good mix. Now this won't take too long. This will only take a couple of minutes for them to soften. So nice and fast. And then zucchini is optional, but I will be adding a little bit of zucchini as well. We're gonna give her a nice stir. We are just gonna let our vegetables cook until they soften, and that also gives the ground beef some time to soak in all of the flavor. And we're just gonna use the juices to almost steam the vegetables. Nice. Now you can add a drizzle of sesame oil, totally up to you how much, but I usually add around a tablespoon, so just a light drizzle for freshness. If you want to keep it healthier, then don't add the sesame oil because it's totally fine without it. But this just reminds me of home. Give her a nice stir. The veggies are looking pretty soft now, so we are going to finish her up Now, once the green onion's added, that's pretty much the end of cooking. I'll turn off the fire as soon as I add it and give it a stir, because we don't want to overcook our green onions. So let's add our green onions in, give her a stir, and she is ready to go. And you can meal prep this, you can add this all into little containers. I'm not going to portion them out right now, but I will put it all in one big plate. We're gonna do it old school until she gets a little lighter, okay? My forearms aren't that strong. And that is pretty much it. I already prepped some rice, so we are going to make 2 plates. I'm hungry, so maybe a lot of bitter rice. Never said I was the cleanest chef. So we've got our extra beef and veggies for the rest of the week. 2 plates. We're gonna top it off with our sesame seeds. A little bit on everything. A little bit on everything. I love sesame seeds. And that is it. We have our beef and veggies. Well, hopefully it's not too hot. It's so good, if I do say so myself.